Welcome back to the lab, guys. I'm Chris Chamberlin, and I'm going to be taking you through an RMT rope workout today. Before we get to it, make sure you hit like, subscribe to our channel, and drop us a comment so we can cater these videos to you. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be doing some warm-up or preparation. We're going to do one round through this. We're going to be doing 45 seconds of effort with 15 seconds sort of transitions or breaks between it. Again, this is all preparatory and warm-up, so we can just take our time with it, feel things out for yourself, make adjustments as you see fit. I've already got my rope at length. Basically, you just want to step on the middle, and then you tie any knots in it as much as you want to at least get it to your armpits. And when we get to rolling, we may even want it down to the sternum or even the belly button height. So we're going to get started. I got a timer set up here. We'll go ahead and get this going. We're going to start down in a kneeling position. We're going to do some sort of like heating up the lats or the coils, as we call them. We're going to take our rope, we'll get down this kneeling posture. If you want to put like a blanket or a pillow under your legs, that can help assist with this, but I do like to do this in a kneeling position if we can. We're going to take the rope behind our back. We're going to start kind of creating some friction, kind of like we have a towel drying off our back. And then I just want to go ahead and veer it off to one side. And I'm really just going to try to create as much heat as I can on this left side of my body. Just warm up that tissue. We're thinking like the base of the rib cage and lower. And we even want to kind of creep it around and try to hit a little bit of the front body or the obliques there a little bit. So low back, front body. Just focusing on that left side. Definitely make sure you have good shirt on that can let this rub around there without creating too much pull. So again, 15 seconds to sort of transition. We can just keep this going. This is easy. And we're going to just veer it off to this right side now, creating some good heat and friction on the right side body. This will get the shoulders going a little bit too. Everything will be working just a little bit. Again, we want to make sure you can kind of get that onto that front body as well, sort of feel the like obliques, the abdomen a little bit. Get some heat in there. We're going that full 45 seconds. Really spend some time in the rib cage. All right. I'm kind of head in the middle there. I'm feeling good. We're ready to transition to the next thing. So we're gonna go ahead and come up from that kneeling position. We're gonna go to like a split stance here. We're gonna be holding about 45 seconds on two different sides on each side. So I'm gonna grab both ends of the rope. I'm gonna wrap it once or twice, kind of depending on the length of your arms. We're gonna go straight overhead. We're gonna lean into the front leg. I want you to notice my back heel sort of flicks out. And I'm gonna kind of just bend over this front leg and get as much of my weight forward as I can. Goal here, we're shooting for length on this left side of the body, really trying to feel a nice deep stretch through like the lat, the QL, really trying to get into this hip, dumping that left heel out. If we want, we can start thinking about maybe pulling this arm in. So I'll give you this shot here. So I'm pulling this right elbow down towards my side body or my hip. Again, all that weight is shifting forward. If you look at it from the front, you'll notice my weight or my head is kind of veering over that right side of my body. Beautiful, okay? We'll go ahead and switch sides. So again, split stance. We've already got that rope where we want it. We could tighten it up on one side or another if we need to. Arms go directly overhead. We're gonna veer off to this one side over here. Again, trying to create maximum length on this right. Just enjoy that stretch. Play around with your hands, do whatever feels good here. There's nothing you're gonna do wrong at this point. Again, if it's feeling good, you wanna kind of amplify this a little more. If you pull this hand down and this elbow down to that back hip, you can create a little extra length. Add a little tension between the straps, so see how the strap's not limp? Got a little tautness in it. Right now we're just going for this long stretch. Some of you may be familiar with this, maybe familiar with that contraction we do in the back body. We don't have to be going for that yet. So we're gonna switch back to the first side and we're gonna change things up a little bit. So instead of over that front leg, we're gonna veer things back and actually shift over the back side. So I'll take that 45 for you so you can see. directly overhead. Instead of going out here, we're gonna pull back over the back leg, try to create length on this front side of the body now. And this one's gonna get us feeling this little contraction down in that left body or side body. If you wanna amplify it, you just gotta pull that tautness out of the rope and sort of mind-body connect and flex into that lower lat. Note, I haven't really changed my intent on that back foot. I'm still trying to flick that back heel out. Whew, and 45 seconds is plenty. We'll go ahead and switch to the other side. So I just switched the front leg, left leg's up in front now. Again, you'll notice I'm not shifting all that weight over the front leg. I'm sort of keeping it in the back for this one. So overhead in the center, I'm gonna veer back. You will see me go right to that pulling of that elbow to the back pocket. I want one more loop on this side. But now I'm looking for length on that front leg side. So feeling how those like ribs get a nice stretch there, and how the longer that is, the deeper and shorter I feel on this back side. These positions are really important before we get to our rolling practice. It's really going to set the tone on the range that you can explore with the rope. Getting really, really familiar with these is going to create space or create lanes when we're working with the rope. All right, out of there, we're gonna come back to that first position, so that right leg in front. We're just gonna do a little like easy chop. We're just gonna keep the tension out of the rope. We're gonna only do this over the back side in this case, but over the back leg, we're just gonna spread the rope. Elbows are gonna sort of steer this movement, but we're gonna keep the weight over that back side. And we're just doing a nice little easy chop. One side of the X, that nice slash mark. You'll notice I'm not shifting my weight over, not like we're gonna be doing with the rope. We wanna stay on one side, really carve out this sensation of this contraction down on the left side. And only enough tension to sort of keep the slack out of the rope on this. This doesn't need to be this wild, aggressive pull apart. Just keep this nice and easy and fluid. Nice. We'll switch it up. Again, left leg in front. Adjust your rope if you need, get more or less length. If you want to tuck the toe or be on the flat of it, that's fine. Either one is fine. It's not that important. What I'm looking for is that weight is not shifting over to the front side. We're not doing those race and chases quite yet. Just trying to pull the elbows apart, act like they're a blade, and just creating this nice little slash. All right, floor work is done. We're gonna get up on our feet. We're gonna focus on just some kind of navigating our lines, get the rope rolling a little bit, kind of clean up that pattern before we get to more complex stuff. We're gonna start in the overhand environment. Right hand is gonna be holding both ropes. We're gonna take a split stance and we're gonna roll the rope overhand in a single hand. So this is that race and chase concept or figure eight. I want you to note how I'm shifting all of my weight from left to right. This is what I really want you guys to get after during this, is keeping a nice clean line with the rope and working on those nice weight shifts. All right, just for you guys, I'll go ahead and show that from the side. You should sort of pick a directional intent for the day, so when we start getting into some flow, everything is consistent. Now what I want you to do, we're gonna stay in the same stance. You're just gonna switch your hand. So now the lead hand is that one in the front. And we're just practicing that same transition. Working on the cleanliness of the line. We're going a little more than that 45 because we took our break. All right. Yeah, once we get this rope rolling, those transitions, those 15-second rests that we'll be doing, you can completely stop if you want. But really, the rope you should be able to find like a nice, easy intensity with the rope just to keep it rolling. All right, now what's gonna happen right when we hit this break here, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna just switch this over to the underhand roll. We'll go ahead and switch hands just because that side's a little tired. And we're gonna practice the underhand roll with the rope with those nice weight shifts. So note how my weight's forward, my weight's back. All right, that full 45, a little more with those transitional breaks. For many of you, you're not gonna know what to do with your offhand, but kind of keeping that in the pattern will help tighten this line up. It'll start showing your skill level with the rope. Again, I'm gonna show this from a front shot for you guys. So you see the underhand one. Again, notice that front and back also creates a side to side when I'm doing this. Learning these full weight shifts or weight transfers is gonna be one of the most valuable things you get from the RMT rope. All right, keeping that same stance, we'll go ahead. We're gonna switch to the opposite hand. And again, we're eating up those transitional periods. We're just getting in a little extra volume. This shouldn't be overly challenging at this point. Just building coordination with the rope. Now we're gonna go through the same effort on the other side here in a second. Again, double check that you're rolling underhand. Sometimes that can get confusing if you're just starting out with the rope. You wanna start making a very conscious effort of over versus under. And that all that means is that the rope is ticking up versus down, so it's not a chop down. All right, we're gonna switch up the stance. We're gonna go back to that overhand environment. We're going those full 45 seconds. Again, we only gotta get through this once. We're gonna be real cozy with the rope and ready to work with it. As you start getting more comfortable, start noticing how there's less of a lead with the hand and you start to throw the elbow a little more. And that will start steering the rope for you. So again, the big difference here, we're back in that overhand and we've switched our base stance. So the right leg is the leader now. Getting that right to left, back and forth. Getting that full weight shift. Switch the lead hand. Big thing you'll notice when we do these different stances too, you should notice like a key difference in the feeling. There's definitely a sensation of being better at one side versus the other, stance-wise. So this is sort of our opportunity to level up our non-dominant stances. And a really awesome way to get a very integrated sort of mobility of the wrists, elbows, and shoulders. And I'll give you guys that side shot again when we switch to underhand here. So if you're rolling at home, you should be able to keep the roll and sort of just make the transition. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it just for purposes of that. We're gonna start that underhand roll. Oop, and sorry, we gotta make sure that we're in that split stance that we changed to. So right leg is lead or in front. Again, working on that front to back and left to right weight shifts. And trying to get the elbow to be the leader in this exercise. The cadence or tempo of the rope, sort of up to you at this point, okay? I'm starting to feel a little warm, so it's picking up a little bit. Stay right where you're at if you need to. That speed has everything to do with your ability to feel those full weight shifts. So if it's got to be slow-mo to really create that, start there. All right, we'll switch the hand that's leading. Notice the subtleties and how you have to steer the rope to keep the same task going when you have a different lead hand. And again, remember, we're just eating up that 15-second rest. This is not overly challenging at this point, so we don't mind the extra work. I know I got like a little sweat going now. We're getting the blood flowing. Feeling good. Again, remember those positions we just set and all those floor drills. I'm hitting those side bends. I got all that room now for the rope to roll nice and smoothly. All right, cool guys. Got that out of the way. We got one more we're gonna go through here. We're just gonna focus on the back side of this. We're gonna do it on both sides, just so we can wrap this warm up. I'm gonna start facing this way. This is gonna be my underhand, or what I call north. I'm gonna start with the rope in the back hand, so the backside leg. We're gonna get that pattern rolling that we just had, and now we're gonna make that fluid transition to the other side. And we're gonna stay facing one hemisphere like this, the east as I call it, and we're just gonna practice making switches and feeling those full weight shifts as you do it. This doesn't have to be this quick. You can take your time in each position and get really situated and comfortable and make the transitions as you feel you're ready for, or you can keep it nice and fluid and trying to move through it regularly. All right, we'll take that full 45 seconds off. We're gonna switch to the other hand. So we're gonna go ahead and switch this to our underhand. So this is our north. We start that underhand roll. It's switched my hand that's in charge, which is over the back leg. And then we're making those transitions. Trying to just feel full weight shifts. Working on creating fluidity and navigating this line. Don't feel like you have to do exactly what I'm doing. If something just naturally happens as you're rolling through this, the main goal is to keep the roll of the rope consistent and fluid, trying to keep the rope taut at all times. Again, if I got to do a couple loops to sort of regain my composure, that's good. All right, guys, so we're warmed up. I feel great. We should be feeling those side bends, side body really well, so we can start activating that. We're really clean on our line. Let's go ahead and get into the first block of work. All right, guys, into this first little block, we're gonna be focusing on overhand patterns. So you guys are gonna be my south, as I call it, or my overhand roll the whole time. We're gonna be playing around with a matador in sort of a square stance and alternating that each side. We're gonna get into some matador reverse lunges. If you sort of find yourself doing an overhand race and chase, that's fine. We're gonna be then going into a dragon roll hop or dragon hops. And the cadence of that is gonna be up to you. You may have to focus on doing a dragon roll on each side depending on your skill level, but if we can get to those hops, we're gonna get in there because that's where the work is gonna be happening today. Goal, we're gonna do about 3 sets together. If you want, try to aim for 5 on your own if you can, but I'm just gonna take you guys through 3 today, and then we're gonna get into our next series. So I got my timer out still. We're doing 45 seconds of effort with 15-second breaks in between. We're gonna start this thing out with this overhand matador. I'll give you guys a little bit of coaching tips and stuff on the first round, and then we'll sort of get into like full speed and stuff. So I wanna be here to work with you. You can watch instructional videos on the skills if you need to. So starting with that overhand matador. You guys are overhand. We are starting that roll. You'll notice I'm getting that 2 loops on each side. That creates some efficiency, gives me time to really shift my weight, and then to throw this elbow over the top to create that matador transition. Again, this very much looks like that matador pulling that red flag out of the way for that bull. So it has this nice like delayed sensation, this sneaky feel to it. Keeping that line nice and clean, keeping that rope nice and taut. I like to be just extra about making those weight shifts. You always see I sort of lift my foot up just to let everybody know I'm there. Now, we're into that 15-second break. Again, you can sort of just keep the rope going, sort of situate yourself to the next move, which is going to be a reverse lunge. This one, we're going to be doing the matador over the front leg. So this is going to be sided. We're doing right side reverse lunge first. And then during that 15-second transition, we'll switch that lead leg. So I'm tall in the front, drop back for that reverse lunge as I chop over for that matador. Find this always feels best using the overhand matador. You can switch to a race and chase or any mix of the two as you're going for these reverse lunges. The goal though, create that nice tick on the ground as you go back for that reverse lunge. Boom. All right, into that 15-second break. Just kind of sort of come back to the center, light, easy matadors. We're gonna switch the stance up. So that right leg's in front now. We're gonna chop over the right, step back, over the left. You guys are getting this good front view of me in this one. I want you to note how my back leg sort of stays to the open side. It's not like a curtsy lunge, and it's not linear like lunges you might be used to. I sort of screw that knee to the center line on that right leg. And the widest part of my base should be that back heel. Again, for this routine, just looking to keep it smooth and try to keep the rope rolling the whole time. All right, we're gonna go ahead, start veering this thing over to some dragon rolls. Nice and easy. We're to work. Now we're going to try to switch sides. So every time we're hitting that back side of the body, boom, we make a nice little hop. I want you to try to keep your gaze or your eyes towards that overhand roll or that southern line. And you can make the transition as often as you like. If you need to do a couple prep reps to jump, that's fine. If you're feeling good, we can pick that pace up a little. Don't have to go all out yet. We are doing sets of this. Our goal is to see how long we can keep this rope rolling without stopping it. So we're going to use this matador now. Going into it, sort of as our active rest. Sort of just creates that pattern we're going to be using for those lunges. So when we hit this focus of it, work on trying to make this easy. Smooth, fluid, easy, so we can start putting the work into things like that reverse lunge. And that dragon roll, that dragon hop, that's where we're gonna get the most work. Again, I want you to be successful. I want as little trip ups as possible. We wanna try to keep this rope rolling for this whole section. So taking your time, keeping it easy, and keeping the rope fluid is more important than going crazy, okay? We'll go ahead, we're gonna start with that lead leg. So we're gonna put that left in front for now. And we're gonna be stepping over that right leg or slashing back over the right here. When you start these, they may not be as deep as you're used to in a lunge. They might kind of start high. That's fine. Do whatever you got to do to coordinate it. But you can add some depth to this as you get better. You may even find shortening the rope can be really helpful for that. And notice how I'm really weaponizing that elbow across the body. I feel like I'm coming down with a slash with that elbow. All right, back to the center. That nice little 15 seconds of easy. We're gonna just get that right leg ahead. All right. And we're going, reverse lunge. Again, we're tall when the right leg's in front, down when the right leg's, or the left leg's in front. I will do our third and final set of this stuff. I'll do it from the side for you guys, just so you get another angle. All right, guys, we're gonna be transitioning to that dragon roll now. So don't care which side you start on, just set up to wherever it's comfortable. Nice and easy till the clock goes. And if you wanna go hard, you can go hard, or just keep it easy and focus on keeping that directional intent towards that south line, that south pole. Eyes stay fixed. Stay low with the body. Again, this is one of those ones, if you've gone for a shorter rope, you'll be able to move a little quicker and it'll keep you a little lower. It's real important when we're doing dragon rolls that the hands are always doing the same thing. Both hands are up in the back, both hands are down in the front. All right, keep the roll. We got one more round. I'm gonna go ahead and change the intent of this just so you can see the side. Again, that's my south pole now. Nice, easy overhand matador. Ooh, catch your breath. Feel those nice, easy, effortless weight shifts. All right, and then as we enter into this little rest period, kind of keeping the same pace, we're just gonna start setting up the next position, which is the reverse lunge. So we're gonna put that left leg in front. So now there's a little front back. And then we're gonna go for that reverse lunge. And this way, I'll kind of show you those differences in depth on this. So I hit that front, I cut. You see how this one's a little higher? Looks like I'm just sort of taking a step back, like a high lunge. Or if I slow it down a little, I can get a little more depth. Or I have that shorter rope. I can work on something in between. Just find where the rope works with you to accomplish the move. And playing with the hands a little differently to keep the tautness in the rope, to kind of match that full integration of the movement. One more, we'll hang out in the center, okay? Just nice and easy. Matador transitions, keeping that consistency. We're gonna put the right foot in front now. So when I hit, I cut to the left. Getting those full weight shifts, again, are gonna get you more clearance with the rope. So if you're getting those little pesky like clips on the ankle or the calves, make sure you're working on those weight shifts. Those side bends, when you get those coils, it creates that lane. All right, nice and easy. We're gonna go for that dragon roll. Again, I'll kind of get to it here. Note how both hands are up, both hands are down. Both hands are up, both hands are down. We're trying to constantly mimic that behavior. Focusing on that south, we jump on the back, jump on the back, jump on the back. I'm trying to keep my weight forward towards that southern intent. So all my weight's forward as I switch. Both palms down, both palms up. Last set we're gonna do on this today. Again, consistency, not tripping over the rope is the goal. Don't worry about speed yet. All right, guys. Hey, so we just wrapped up that overhand section. Gonna keep the rope rolling here. We're gonna move into an underhand section now. If you wanted to, when you're doing this on your own, you could go for another 2 sets on that. That would be plenty. We got more work coming. Let's go ahead and get to that. All right, guys, in the second block, we're getting into an underhand focus. Same exact sequence as we just did. We're gonna focus on a flat stance underhand matador. So working on those transitions. We're then gonna take that into a forward lunge matador. We'll have to do both sides of that, just like we did in the overhand. And then we're gonna go into a dragon hop again, this time focusing on the underhand side, so looking towards the north or the underhand roll. And then we're gonna be jumping when the rope hits the front side of the body. So that's a big difference there. This block usually makes me feel a little more uplifted. It tends to lift you up, so it should feel nice and easy after that the previous block, which really draws us in and makes us feel very kind of like worked. We'll get through this, and then we're just gonna play around with a little flow, guys. So let's go ahead and get in, same time. We got 45 seconds of work with a 15-second break. I'll have an on-screen timer, but definitely nice to have your own with you as well. We're gonna start with these easy underhand matadors. I'll start facing you guys. I'll do one on the side as well. Underhand roll, you can get that race and chase going to start, and then we're gonna just do those 2 ticks on each side. And we're slicing under. Underhand matador. You'll note I tend to do this little anchor point with the hand at the top shoulder as I go through this. And really just working on those nice weight shifts, kind of keeping a little more of an upright posture, trying to feel the lower back sort of going to extension, and that's what's driving this movement for us. Now we're going to be going for forward lunges for this one, so I took a little step back so I don't hit the camera on my way in. But what we're going to do is if my right leg's in front, when I perform the matador on the right, that's going to take me forward, and every time over that front leg, when I tick that front leg, that's when I step. So right goes to left, right goes to left. And for this one, again, sort of keeping that up intent with the chest. This one wants to go quick. Take your time to calm it down. Get a little off sequence like I just did. Come back to the center. Step yourself back up. do it right. All right, so back to the center here. We're gonna put that left in front of the right. Make sure you're getting that little split stance when you come up. I think I was coming square and it was messing me up a little bit. So when we tick over this left, boom, over the right. Left, right. Make sure you're getting that split stance as you step back. Definitely important for that coordination. Note how I'm really steering this stuff with the elbow. Keeps the rope nice and vertical, and it keeps it in lane. All right, back to that center. We're gonna be going for that dragon hop again. This time, again, keeping that directional intent towards the underhand now. So when we hop, it's when both hands are down in the front, and we go with the rope. It's a little different than the last one, only by when we depart the ground and the direction we look. And this one's a little more uplifting. Might want to help you increase that pace a little bit. Or calm it down. All right, back to our matador. We're in that rest transition right now. We're really going to get a full minute of this. So keep it real easy, catch your breath. Those dragon hops will always be surprisingly tough. Remember, our mission is to keep the rope rolling for the whole block. So adjust your speed, intensity, however you see fit. And take your time in each of the positions. If you add in an extra roll here and there, it doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Keep the roll rolling. And we're really thinking about that elbow cutting to the center line in these matadors. All right, we're gonna be transitioning over to that forward lunge. That biggie I was noticing with this one, I'll go to that side shot, is if I don't step back sort of into that split stance, it was messing up the cycle a little bit, but all the weight is staying over my right leg, even as I step forward. Just adjust your timing as needed. Doesn't have to be fast, just needs to be smooth. All right, back to that center. Working on cutting that elbow to the center. And that's really gonna get that rope a little more vertical. So left leg's in front, get back a little bit. When we tick on that left, we'll cross over to that right. This one you really want to feel, just that nice little crunchy low back contraction as you go into these positions. That'll maximize your range. All right, we're coming out. Back to matador. Again, I'll show you that back shot. We're doing dragon roll now. In the back, palms are up. In the front, palms are down. We're jumping towards on the front side, facing the underhand roll. So it's jump, jump, jump. Eyes should always stay fixed, in this case, towards that north roll or underhand roll. Don't worry about being super fast yet. Again, we're working on roll endurance, trying to make it through this whole block without offending the roll of the rope. All right, I'm gonna steer this back towards you guys. So that front shot. Ooh, we get that full 75-second sort of break here in that underhand matador, in that square stance. As you start getting really familiar with the ropes and rolling with them, I want you to start recognizing how different the under versus the over, how they sort of affect the core differently. You're gonna really feel like, you almost get like a really good ab workout when we're doing overhand rolls. And you're gonna feel like a little more uplifted, sort of like you're doing like back extensions or back bending when we do this overhand roll. So if you're having a difficult time picking one of the patterns up, it usually tends to be in that underhand side, because it's a little bit out of the scope of our sort of our normal postures that people are in most of the day. But that's why it's so powerful and why we really want to spend a lot of time in it, okay? We're going for those forward lunges. Let me get back here. We're cutting, cutting. Make sure you sort of just cross that leg behind the other when we hit that back position, the high position. Otherwise, it sort of gunks up the flow of this. Don't worry about the depth of your lunges. Oh, worry about the coordination and the integration of it. Sometimes more depth demands that the rope is a little shorter. So if you're ever trying this workout a second time, making the rope a little shorter or a little longer, it'll kind of change the whole experience. All right, so got left leg in front now, and then we hit. And it's still just that matador pattern, just using that cut across the body to draw us in and out of these lunges. And this is our last set of this. So really try to keep this coordination up, keep that roll going. We'll take a little break from the roll after this. All right, back to our matador. We're gonna switch to our dragon roll or dragon hop if we got it. Again, palms up, palms down, palms up, palms down. We're jumping in the front. The eyes are on that north line, and jump. Again, if you need to do a couple ticks, then jump, couple ticks, then jump, that's fine. Just work on keeping your eyes towards that underhand side and really focusing on keeping the hands unified in that double up, double down, double up, double down. Consistency is king. Don't worry about the speed. All right. Ooh, look at that. I said consistency is king and I messed up. Cool. Guys, that's the end. That was 3 sets on that. We're gonna take a little break. You can chill with the roll for a second. And then we're just gonna get into a little flow, kind of to cool us down, to recover a little bit. We're just gonna work on navigating the line and sort of let yourself shine there. All right, guys, to wrap this up, we're gonna get in just to a little flow, a little play. I like to sort of just throw a timer up, a clock, 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever time I got to sort of wrap up here. I'm gonna throw 5 on the clock for us just to explore this, but the idea is just to sort of get that line, that north-south line, start flowing and moving around it, just playing. The intensity can be whatever it wants. You can add sort of flares and spike of that as you wish. Doesn't matter what skills we use here. It's just all about expressing ourselves, how we feel for the day. It's an opportunity to practice some of the skills if we felt like we were a little off, and to make sure we're just syncing those skills up to that ability to transition from north to south or under to over. So I'm gonna throw my clock on. Again, I'm going for about 5 minutes here. Feel free to keep it going after I stop, but we're just gonna get to it. I might sort of do this sort of at an angle. That's gonna be my north. Might change that up, but we'll probably keep to it. We're just gonna keep this nice little pace, working on transitions, just trying to work from going from that north to south line. It doesn't matter what skill you choose. I might keep mine a little more stationary so I stay on the camera, but sometimes this thing will eat up the whole room if I feel like moving with it. But we'll just keep it nice and easy. Keep it in a small area so we're not taking up all the space. I tend to, when I'm doing this myself, just get lost in these matadors, especially that's sort of been the base of today. So I'm probably gonna wrap up with just keeping them nice and easy and putting them together and learning to transition from north to south with it and to feel those nice shifts of weight. Again, there's no right or wrong here, just exploration. I would ask or try to have you keep that line as clean as you can as you work on this. So making note as you make these transitions, if you're able to keep that directional intent, or if it veers off a little bit, which doesn't matter. Just something you can work on or improve over time. Might flare it up a little bit. See, I'm doing some of these underhand sneaks. Again, you can do some tutorials on these. We have free tutorials on all these exercises. Putting them together just is as easy as just starting a practice. There's nothing specific or fancy about those combinations. It's just getting comfortable with the tool. Right, just enjoying whatever pattern comes to me. Just feeling good. This should just have me feeling like I'm ready to get on with my day after. I like to use kind of this time too, just to maybe explore different hands leading sort of drills. Just a good time to work on non-dominant stuff. Ooh. And I know in this building, especially when I'm teaching, I turn to my right a lot. So it tends to be very good just to get some extra volume at this time on that left turn or that left transition. Ooh. And again, it doesn't even have to be as mobile as I am with this. Sometimes I'm in my living room doing this, and it's just about trying to make transitions using up as little space as possible. But it's just the opportunity to check in with your skills, see how well they're really integrating or carrying over to applying it to other things. And just to be playful with your stances, switching your feet regularly, just constantly searching for weight shifts. That's a big part of just making this stuff look nice and fluid and easy. And don't get too fancy that you mess up your roll. The goal is flow and easy and not to show off. If things start feeling good though, you can spice it up a little. We're gonna go about 30 more seconds, guys. Again, there has been no rhyme or reason to any movement I've chosen in this. It's just play, enjoy yourself. I think a lot of people express themselves with the rope this way. I hope, talking and rolling is hard, but I'm hoping more of you are getting how you can start applying this rope into your training, how you can get that heart rate up, you can start getting some work, you can start recognizing how that over versus under start sort of making the core function a little differently. Guys, that was an awesome workout. Again, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel. Please comment below if you like the workout. If you want to see some different stuff, I want to pump these out for you. So got to communicate to me, got to let me know. We'll see you guys at the next one.